honestly can't remember either.
Okay.
I actually think I just looked it up with the Oilers, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost to the Ducks, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
you sorry to bring it up.
You clearly don't remember that game, though.
Well, I do now, yeah.
Okay. Can you describe the intensity? I mean, the playoffs are already intense, but
Yeah,
does it ratchet
I
up
mean,
for Game 7?
Yeah. I mean, in a one-team season's going to end. But, I mean, I don't think this team feels much of pressure. We got to this point because we believed in ourselves, and we should walk in tomorrow and really believe that we can get it done.
What makes you so confident in your team's ability to win Game 7?
I mean, just the belief we have in the room. I mean, I think when we're on our toes, we can go up against anyone, and we've showed it this series. And yeah, tomorrow we're just gonna lay it all on the line.
I was going to say you have a lot of reasons to be confident. When you are playing your best in this series, like when you're on your game, like what are you doing well? Obviously, you're taking it to them. You're aggressive. You're forechecking well. Anything else that you'd point out?
No, I mean, not sit back. I mean, this team is too good to come at you wave after wave. I mean, with their skilled top end guys, eventually they're going to create something if you sit back. So when we've been playing here, I think that's been our best games in this arena. So yeah, I think we just tomorrow go after them.
All series we've talked about, the speed of your team, the speed of Colorado. They made some adjustments, and kind of their rush attack was really shining that last game. As a defenseman, kind of what's your responsibility? What can you do to help limit that rush?
Well, good gap first of all, and I think against these guys, they're like top of the world class skills. I mean, you need all 5 guys to defend those guys. So it's a collective.
You guys kind of had an uncharacteristic night in terms of taking penalties.
Yeah.
Do you think that was just from being frustrated or being tired, or what do you kind of point to with that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I thought we could avoid some of them. But even there, like, they were on top of their game and we were not, and you usually draw more penalties if you're on top of your game. So they had a stronger game than we did last night. So
I mean, like a lot of series that go to Game 7, it's pretty even. I think 5-on-5 goals are dead even, right? And each team in this series, when it's found its game, has won. It's just a matter of who gets their game.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. And I think the group is very excited. Obviously, we were disappointed last night, but good atmosphere today, and excited to roll tomorrow.
I think you've gotten this question before, but why do you think that home ice hasn't seemed to be much of an advantage in this series, and how do you make sure that their crowd doesn't stay into it tomorrow night?
Well, we've been scoring the first goal in all the games, I think, so that helps. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we come out on top.
Just my last is big picture question. Like, it's a lot of fun, right? Seattle's had all these really cool firsts, right? First playoff game, first home game, first win. And I get a first Game 7, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest thing for everybody to experience?
Yeah, I mean, the fans have been awesome. We've really been feeding off that, and too bad we couldn't close it out yesterday. But luckily we have a chance tomorrow again. So no, it's just a good time, and I think we all should enjoy it tomorrow and really, just put it all out there.
How happy were you to see Vince get on the score sheet last game?
Yeah, that was nice for us and for him. I mean, I think he's been looking for it, so it's good to get rewarded.
Is it pretty crazy? You have 14 goal scorers
in
the series. I mean, we knew you were deep, like, for the regular season, but that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, that's been our strength the whole year. So, and tomorrow we'll need everyone.
Thank you. So I believe you're 4-0 in Game 7s had a lot of success in St. Louis. Just what do you take from that? What are keys for your team going into this one?
I didn't know that. But this is just a great opportunity for us. It's it's been a tight series, and it comes down to one game, to move on. So there's really nothing like it for an athlete when it comes down to something like this. Easiest games to get up for. We've played well in this building. We've played well on the road all year. So we're confident in our group and just excited for the opportunity. Like I said, there's not really much that needs to be said going into a Game 7. It's just kind of that all-in mentality that's, you don't need to worry about anything else. You don't need to worry about how the series has gone, what's happened. You just worry about this one game.
How would you describe the pressure or lack thereof that you guys feel going into this game?
I think it's just more of, you look at it as an opportunity to move on to the next round. The first time with our franchise to win a playoff series, and it's just exciting. Like I said, as a hockey player, you dream of Game 7s going up. You always watch them. They're the funnest games to be a part of. So we feel good as a group, and we've had success on the road all year, so that gives us a positive boost too.
After Game 6, was there a feeling of this was a missed opportunity, and if so, how quickly did that go away?
We just knew that it wasn't our best. It wasn't our best game. Wasn't our best effort. They played well. We gave them, a lot of momentum with the power play. We weren't able to get to our game, especially in that second period. It felt like. So we know what our game looks like, and it wasn't where it needed to be. And we got a really good chance tomorrow. To do something special, and we're gonna obviously touch on things today and go over a few things, but not much needs to be said. After that game, we know the opportunity that we have tomorrow.
Where do you feel like you guys can tighten up and adjust in terms of just slowing down their rush offense?
Just being good with the puck. We've done a pretty good job throughout the series of having good back pressure. Against any team, you don't want to be giving them odd-man rushes, especially against some world-class players, and you just got to make sure you're above them. And I think, our gap, I think we were just backing off a little bit too much last game. They had a little bit too much space coming through the neutral zone. They were gaining our zone a little bit too easily, which hasn't really been the case throughout the series. So just got to get back to what we were doing before there.
When you look at the body of work that Philip Grubauer has done so far for you guys in the postseason, how much confidence has his play given you guys?
He's been great. He's been in the zone. He's been awesome for us. Big timely saves. You can tell he's dialed up and he's in the zone and where he needs to be. So all the confidence in him in the world, and he's been great for us. He's been communicating and making big saves. So we got to bring our best effort for him tomorrow.
Big picture, like Game 7's drawing eyeballs that don't necessarily watch certain teams or even certain sports, right? Like, you get a chance to show people who the Seattle Kraken are. Is that part of this opportunity, and what do you want people to see if they're tuning in?
Honestly, we're not really worried about much else other than our game. We're just worried about this one game, worried about what we need to do. I think for any fan in any sport, when you're watching winner goes on, Game 7, or the fans are going to be on the edge of their seat no matter what. And it's obviously very, very exciting. It's the most exciting thing in sports. But for us, we're just worried about our game and sticking to our game plan, being aggressive right from the get-go, and playing that team game that we've done all year.
What do you think has made you guys so aggressive from the get-go? You've scored the first goal in every one of these games.
I think just not sitting back. We know what our game looks like. We got a lot of guys with speed and fast players who can get in on the forecheck. Be disturbing for them in the offensive zone. Take away time and space, track back hard. Just really kind of be hard to play against, and try to control the puck as much as we can. We've done a good job of just just going after them right away, not thinking and not waiting to see what they're going to do.
Well, Dave, when you look at the group that you have going into Game 7, what makes you confident in your team?
Our group is just, we've been together all year. It's been a group that the expectations inside of the dressing room have been most important. There hasn't been a lot of expectations of the group from the outside world, and that certainly hasn't changed throughout this, throughout this series. We're playing against a hell of a team that played extremely well last night. 3 or 4 of the best players in the world that played very, very well. So we know the task at hand, to come into their building in Game 7. But it's an opportunity that our guys will take.
Is there anything you find necessary in terms of messaging to the guys about what to expect with emotions, intensity?
No, we'll talk about things, but the bottom line is, and just, not unlike the team on the other side, our guys have earned the privilege to play under this, under this type of pressure, with this type of opportunity. So, again, nothing more, nothing less than that.
You just got to play your game. When you've been on your game in this series, you've carried the play and really dominated at times. And
yeah, that's, when it's all on the line, you want to make sure that you're true to yourself, right? And that you do the things that you do to the very, best of your ability. And in sports, that's either good enough or it's not. You have to, you got to be true to, to the things that you are as a team. And then once you're in the game, you got to find different ways to push it the right direction. There's certainly, there's different points in the game that you have to recognize and have, maybe it's an individual stepping forward. Whatever that may be at a critical time. But absolutely, it all starts with just, being comfortable with yourself and playing, to your best.
You got a lot of experience in that room too. Schwartz and Schultz and Eberle's been through Game 7s. I know you haven't as a head coach, but you haven't as an assistant, single elimination college. Like, there's a lot of experience in there.
Yeah, you draw back on all of that, and mostly you draw on the strength of the group, right? And the test and the challenge at hand. And that's the great thing. There's no better opportunity than Game 7, in the NHL playoffs. So, the experience in our room I'm sure will settle the group and make sure that we have a good focus.
Colorado made a pretty significant adjustment last game, putting together that top line. Any particular details that you're hoping your team is paying attention to going
Well,
into
there's no
this one?
details. Those guys dictated the hockey game last night. They were at the top of their game. They were phenomenal. Like I said, they dictated the hockey game. So it's not the small details. That jumps off the map at you from last night's hockey game. So we got to do a much better job if we want to have an opportunity to win Game 7.
What are the big details that you need to focus on?
I'm not getting into that. It is what it is.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.